Hello, this is a special day today at Computing Paradise, and to tell you more about that day, hey Google, what is today's date?
It is Monday, the 25th of December 2017.
So today's a big day. Of course it is Christmas Day, and I'm going to put away the gift set here. And I'm going to bring out an item. So, very big day here. So I'm the store manager at Computing Paradise at this location of Computing Paradise in Corydon, Indiana. And this is Beekchild, spelled B-E-E-K-C-H-I-L-D. And he's the owner of Computing Paradise. So he is a magical owl. And he owns this business. He owns 4 stores. And I'm the manager of this store here in Corydon, Indiana. So this is a big day because the time has come for this. That's right, scalpers beware. So not only is Computing Paradise a computer repair shop owned by him, and this location here is managed by me. So we also do VHS to DVD conversion. So we take your VHS tapes from your camcorders, your other things like that, and then we'll convert them over to DVD for you for a fee. Right now we got a special. It's only $12. $12 per hour, which to my understanding is about a third of the cost of other companies, other more big name companies. So just let that be known that we always try to provide value at an affordable price here at Computing Paradise. So that's why we're not going to take you for a sucker on this item right here, the SNES Classic Edition. We are selling this for the MSRP price of $79.99. Please do not overpay, because here at Computing Paradise, we actually respect manufacturers and their brand recognition and their wishes of how they want their products represented. Unlike scumbag resellers who suffer horribly from a terrible psychological disease known as ERPS, that is employment-resistant personality disorder. So, as you see, we get the SNES Classic Edition here, because we are a dealer of SNES Classic Editions and other games as well. So we have vintage computer games for sale here at Computing Paradise. We got some vintage consoles for sale, like that, and yeah, we even got this thing right here, the disc for your Game Boy player for the Nintendo GameCube. So we got lots of good stuff. Of course, if you have that old computer you need fixed or any kind of things like that, we even have floppy disk drive cleaners. Just to let you know that here at Computing Paradise, we know what we're doing. Alright, so we got the SNES Classic Edition here. So we're going to look for what these things are still going on eBay for. Bringing up the app, alright, and SNES Classic Edition, alright. So, ooh, man, we got a scumbag seller here. What's their name? Who are they? The seller's name? Let's see. Read more. Okay. So let's see who this greedy reseller is. Robert J. 56. Alright, so Wow. He's got a big stack of them here. He's got, oh my gosh, he's got a stack of them. And he's selling them for what he thinks is a affordable price of $179.95. Oh man. Oh, this is funny. With a price marked out, struck out with a line of $199.95. And it's a was price. Oh man. This greedy reseller is selling them brand new factory sealed for just about $180. That's more than double the MSRP price set by Nintendo themselves, the manufacturer of the Super Nintendo Classic Edition. Oh man, there's such a... let's see. This is on eBay, by the way. So if you ever want somebody to price match eBay, I guess so if you want to pay more. Oh, man. Let's see. Who do we got here? Who's another scumbag suffering from herpes? Blue Crush Z. Selling it for about $50 above MSRP. Okay, they're selling it for $129.95, so you can tell they don't work a job either. Let's see, we got somebody selling it for about double the price of the MSRP. Keep in mind, regardless of what somebody's selling it online for, Nintendo set the price for retail on these things at $79.99. That's how much Nintendo says it's supposed to be worth. The SNES Classic Edition. That's the SNES or Super Nintendo Mini. Let's see who's got who's this failed human that's selling it for double. What's the seller's name? Alright. Well, they're selling it for $159.95 on a eBay there. Which is about double the MSRP retail price. They're from Autumnsville, Oregon, in the U.S. And it's Andy MC503. So that's a greedy scumbag that does not deserve to get a rain check on a sale item at a retail store. Let's see who else isn't worth proper customer service whenever they go in a retail store. Okay, who else we got here? We got Freeder 23, Freeder 23. They are scalping the SNES Classic Edition for $149.95. So just under twice the MSRP price there. That's on eBay. If look on Amazon. I don't think Amazon ever really got a proper shipment of these things. Usually this is just exclusively for brick and mortar stores like Target, Walmart, Best Buy, places like that, and GameStop are the only ones that really get any of them coming in. I guess they have the distribution rights on it or something like that. SNES Classic. On Amazon. So the first one to come up, $124.95, sold by Garden Century Deals, and it's fulfilled by Amazon. So this is an example of a third-party reseller selling something on the Amazon site. They're selling it for $124.95. So, we're talking about more than $40 markup. So we're talking about more than 50% markup on there. So these failed humans, these people suffering from a horrible psychological disease known as employment-resistant personality disorder. So they'll buy these things. From a retail store. You ever notice how they got all the free time they need to go buy these up from Target, Walmart, Best Buy, and GameStop? And just hoard them, and then, act like gatekeepers, and they dam up the flow of these things out to the public, and then they basically overcharge and gouge a premium price for these things. Oh, it's horrible, isn't it? Yeah, and it's sad. Isn't that sad for you people that's worked retail for many years, and if a customer takes, a baseball hat that's supposed to be $10 or $15, some type of other merchandise, and it's sitting there, next to a bag of cat litter, because some lazy customer just set it down, and then all the other customers keep the retail staff so busy with questions, those customers that, it's like they never knew that electricity existed or that indoor plumbing is feasible, so they ask a bunch of questions to the retail staff and keep them busy with all kind of things, and so the retail staff doesn't have enough time to put things back where they belong, because lazy customers just set things down. And then you see another opportunistic customer come up and see that it's a baseball hat that's sitting on like a bag of cat litter. The bag of cat litter is like $4 or something like that. So they pick up the item, they take it to the register, and then it rings up as a baseball hat for $10 or $15, depending on what franchise it's from or licensed from. And then the customer throws a fit. Well, the sign says it was $3, and as if an inanimate tag actually determines the price on something, like it's conscious of making a decision, and that it's got authority like a manager or an inventory manager or a person or whatever. And that's how you know somebody's really trying to cheat. And they need to work the gulag of retail. I mean, I've worked retail for years. I like it. I like the environment. I like talking to people. I like helping people. I like educating people, which is why I do this YouTube channel, which is the Megapet Productions YouTube channel. So let's get on with what we're doing here, this unboxing. So this is the Super NES Classic Edition, finally. I'm going to show you all what it's like. This box, yeah. So you got the system there. It's got the games that it shows on there, all these games that all these, greedy resellers try to use this information to pretend like they're me, to pretend like they're a real salesman. And they'll say, wow, look, play all your classic favorites. Look, there's Super Mario World, there's Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, there's Star Fox, there's F-Zero, there's Super Metroid. They're like, all your classics, and it's only $125 or $150 or $200 or whatever price that they want you to think that you're supposed to pay for this. Whenever you see one of these greedy resellers, you should give them a piece of your mind. I mean, it's only fair in life. I mean, if there is really to be such thing as fairness and justice, I mean, for all the amount of times when, you work retail and customers, they say, would you price match eBay? Reddit's got this on sale for, and I actually heard somebody say that Reddit is selling, Reddit is a blog post website, and yeah, a customer actually came in one time and said that, expected, to get a price match to Reddit. I mean, it's like, I've seen people bring in all these, like, websites I never even heard of. These third-party sellers that will sell things for substantially low than retail pricing. Sometimes they'll sell it at a fraction of retail pricing. And it's because it's refurbished. Or they've bought up a big batch of returns from Target or Walmart or some other place, from some type of product return center, and then they sell it. So if they get if they get a graphics card that's been part of a defective return to a retailer, or bought from Newegg or something like that, and then returned, and because it was messed up by electrostatic discharge or something like that, and they obtained like a $200 graphics card for like $10 because it's been damaged out of the retailer's system, and they're just selling off essentially their undesirables, and so that $10 graphics card gets marked up to $70, but because it's below the normal retail price for what graphics card it is, they act like they're providing value to society and giving you some kind of deal, and that they are your buddy and they're there to help you and that they deserve your business. You work in retail, you get to learn these things. It's so sad, the things customers find using their smartphones, whenever they want something for nothing. So let's get on with this unboxing. So finally, I'm going to get this unboxed, let you see what it's like. So, in this system here, you got the box. I'm glad you're here supervising in case Malcolm tries to come through the door and sniff out the new package smell and wants to make a deal. So you get your poster. Yeah, I'm 37 years old, born in 1980, and I remember when the Super Nintendo came out. It was a big deal. It was awesome. It was legendary. It was like a crowning achievement in gaming. Sega Genesis was pretty cool too. I just wasn't into it back during its time. I was Team Nintendo back in the 90s, and I like Sega as well, but dude, Nintendo had such awesome stuff, dude. I'm just saying. So this poster is almost identical to the one up there on the wall at Computing Paradise. This image is a little bit different. The color is off because the bottom row on the original 1991 posters for the Super Nintendo had at the time that they made the posters, I think the Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past was unfinished. You can tell a few of the little things on like sprites and color palette stuff. They added Star Fox on here. They got, actually that's before the 1991, so it wasn't on there. F-Zero was on there. Super Metroid was not on the original 1991 posters. Of course, Super Mario World was a launch title, so it was on there. Super Mario Kart was never on there. Actually, they had Pilot Wings and SimCity instead. But I love these imitated scan lines, the gray and black. I just love the silhouette of the Super Nintendo controller with the 4 buttons. This stuff is fantastic. I mean, it's like it's almost better than life itself. So, great poster. What else do you get in here? So, warranty and user agreement information, health and safety information, blah, blah, blah. Nintendo's always done that ever since I was a kid. Blah, blah stuff. You get their wonderful plastic bags. They're great. Put all kind of little knick-knack items in there. Nintendo makes great stuff. Even their packaging's great. I mean, I know it sounds funny, and I mean, you can laugh at this if you want, but their packaging is like really good. Okay, so what you get in here is you get the offspring of the original Nintendo, or the original Super Nintendo. Oh, it's such a little baby. Oh, he's so cute. He's just a baby. So anyway, oh, this is so great. Even the ventilation holes in the back. You get your micro USB for power. You get your HDMI out. Smells pretty neutral, really. I mean, I'm sick right now. You can hear it in my voice. I have been working retail during December, but I mean, I can still smell things. Yeah, it doesn't have a very strong smell though. They even still got a barcode on the bottom, like the Super Nintendo. I'm gonna have to show you that stuff in a moment. But I loved it. A lot of people say they like the look of the Nintendo NES. And it is a nice console, but dude, I love the Super Nintendo. I used to play guitar, and I actually wanted back in 2006 and 2007 to have a Super Nintendo body style of a guitar, and have like the neck of the guitar out here, so you're like playing it like this. And actually, I found a website that had like the speed knobs, the completely cylindrical round knobs made out of some type of plastic resin that are on some of the Gibson guitars, and other ones. They're about 40 millimeter in diameter, about 1.5 inches, something like that. And I found them in like the 4 different colors: the red, yellow, green, and blue that Google uses now. And I wanted to actually use it on here for like the volume and tone controls on the pickups. But the Super Nintendo is just so awesome. And oh, dude, the power and the reset. Oh man. And where's the security screws that I'm so used to? Oh, the cartridge slot. Man, it'd be nice if the cartridge slot was actually ventilation, but oh well. So anyway, you get the console, one of the best looking consoles ever made, and I mean ever made. Sega Genesis was cool. TurboGrafx 16 in North America was, I just love that black, yellow, and orange on there. So you get your power block. Oh man, it says Nintendo on there. And 5 volt, 1.5 amp. I finally got a 1.5 amp on this thing. Yeah, it's basically like a cell phone charger. Except, oh, it's made by, oh, it's got a Lite-On, L-I-T-E-O-N. So I guess it was maybe made for Nintendo by Lite-On. A friend of mine works for one of the big 4 major electronics manufacturers in the world. He works for the one that actually makes the Sony PlayStation 4, that makes the Microsoft Xbox One or Xbox One S, one of those. They actually make it for Microsoft and make it for Sony. You know, you got these companies that will design the things, but they have these big, well, for example, Foxconn makes Apple products. Yeah, Apple designs their products, but Foxconn over in China is the actual manufacturer, the big facility. It's the factory's like the size of a city, and they make the electronics over there. So that just lets you know the real world inside of things. It's not like Google has like a manufacturing facility. You know, I mean, look at this. AMD, you know, that makes CPUs, and they make the graphics cards. They took over. They acquired ATI. They have global foundries and like whoever else manufacture their chips, and so that just lets you know. You know what I mean? So these have a bit of a smell. The Super Nintendo controllers. And Nintendo is actually reusing the same controller ports I hear from the Nintendo Wii or Wii U. One of those consoles I don't have. The newest game consoles I have from Nintendo, other than this beauty right here, is going to be the Nintendo GameCube. I got 3 of them. 2 of them are verified to work. I just haven't actually plugged up the third one. One of them has my Game Boy player, which is why I have this disc right here. And then I got the Game Boy Advance SP, the one with the nice bright backlit screen. So, you know, I stopped collecting all the systems, but this was definitely worth my time. So just to let you know, okay? And then we get, okay, a USB power cord. Another controller. Reggie Fils-Aimé, the CEO or president of Nintendo of America, and the rest of the executives at Nintendo deserve a hug. And the reason why, because of this. Something as simple as an HDMI cable. They deserve love and hugs. So my love goes out right now to Nintendo for doing this. You need this to run the console, and they include it in the packaging. You don't have to go out to a retail store and buy an HDMI cable. You got everything you need to get started up. That was great. I mean, you see Samsung, LG, and Sony making Blu-ray players these days. You know, they do not include an HDMI cable with those Blu-ray players, even if they're like $200 or $300 for a Blu-ray player. This is an $80 package right here. That's how much Nintendo says these are supposed to go for. Okay, so don't tolerate when the scalpers do it. The resellers on eBay, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, Amazon, all those people reselling on there. You see it any higher than $79.99, and you know you're getting ripped off. And Nintendo included the HDMI cable. This is cause for celebration. I mean, I know that it's kind of funny and laugh, but like seriously, I mean, there are times when customers buy electronics items and don't have everything they need to get started because it's not packaged in the main product. So, yeah. Thank you, Nintendo. You're totally awesome. I hope you continue making this item until I get to old age and die. This is a great product, and I mean, I play the Super Nintendo. I've been playing it since 1992, almost 26 years. Yeah, especially since early 1992. But I tell you what, in 1991, the fall of 1991, Super Nintendo was big stuff. I still remember that commercial with Paul Rudd back when he was younger. Hey Google, when was Paul Rudd born?
Paul Rudd was born on April 6, 1969.
I thought it was 1968, but anyway. So he was in his early 20s during that ad campaign. It was just great. It was a drive-in movie theater. The games were playing up on the screen. He had the controller. He went up and just like he walked up to this Super Nintendo that was on display. He had a game cartridge and just slammed it in there and just picked up the controller and just started going at it and playing these games, and it was epic. Oh man. It was great. So anyway, now, in a moment, we are going to hook this thing up and see what it's like. So, I got my little SNES Classic Edition here. The little Super Nintendo Mini, as some people call it. And we're going to give it a try. I'm also going to bring the box over here and display it. There's the box to the SNES Classic Edition. Totally awesome. So I'm going to set that proudly right there. So, let's get started. First I'm going to discharge some static, although I'm not wearing any shoes right now. That's for a reason. It is December of 2017, and sometimes I can just feel the static field moving the hair on my arms. So right now I'm going to disconnect the HDMI cable from the Odroid XE4. That'll save some time. Okay, so I'm going to plug that in there. I'm going to savor the flavor on the HDMI cable that Nintendo supplied. That really impressed me that they did that. Power supply here, 5 volts. DC is what it outputs. It takes regular 120 volt AC current. And also will output 5 volts DC at 1.5 amps. So we're going to use a supplied power cable. Really heavy duty cable, really for its length. It's pretty thick. Nintendo really did a good job on these things. Alright, so we're going to plug that up. Where should I plug it to this time? Just barely. Alright, I think I'll plug it up. Yeah, I think that'll work. Matter of fact, we'll make sure an extension. Okay, so we got a 1-foot extension here. So we can bring this out a little bit further. 14 gauge. 14 gauge wire here. Easily handle 1,000 watts. Actually rated for 1,875 watts. Actually, be gentle on the system itself. Try to discharge static. Essentially, the system board that's inside this is very much like a Raspberry Pi. Plug it into this power supply first, and the reason why it's best to do that is because the electricity will come out through the wall into this, and this takes a little while to build up the power that's needed here. I mean, it takes like about a second or two, but for the speed of the electricity, that's pretty slow. You can notice this on laptop power bricks and stuff. It takes about 1 or 2 seconds for the light to come on after you plug it up. So electricity moves extremely fast, but once you plug it up to there, it takes about a second or two. So that way it's more gentle, it's more gradual on the device. Alright, we got that plug in. And then we're going to turn on our TV. Should be input number 3. That's right. Okay, we're going to plug up the controller here. No signal because I'm not powered it on yet. That's my first time ever doing this, but I was told the controller ports are actually front flips down. I think it is. Let's see. Here we go. It's my first time using this. So what I heard is true this time. So we plug up these controllers here. We're going to go on controller port number 1. That's a nice gentle click sound. Alright, before we power this on, I am going to get something to drink. Turn on the sound bar as well. Before I start that up, I'm going to get something to drink. Alexa, turn off Computing Paradise.
Okay.
Alexa, turn on The Office.
Okay.
Alexa, turn off The Office.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Got some Mountain Dew Game Fuel. It's Arctic Rush in the blue can. For the Middle Earth Shadow of War. game release. Arctic Burst that's what it is, Arctic Burst. At first when I drank this about a month ago or whatever, I thought it tastes like Charms Blow Pop. But supposedly it's blueberry. So I'm going to open up a can of this. It was 10 years ago since I first drank Game Fuel, and I've not yet encountered a flavor of Game Fuel that I dislike. So it's totally awesome. So let's start this thing up and see what I got. Okay, power light came on. So yeah, we do English. Play Star Fox 2 after this. Just like I remember it. Just like I remember it back in 1993. Time to play for real now. That intermittent sound is actually my sound bar. It's like it's power saving mode. It does that to like everything. bombs. Yeah, full bomb load. As you can tell, I'm a bit rusty. It's been a while since I played it. Matter of fact, inside this case right here, that's the circuit board to my original Star Fox game. It was always loose in the cartridge shell. I had to eventually take it out and I have to carefully seat it inside the Super Nintendo whenever I play it. Later in a future video, we're going to do a size comparison. I just got to show you this because back in about 1994, focus in, zoom in the camera so you can see it. Well, if you remember the first level of Star Fox, that boss you got to fight. I seen it on a packaging to like a power adapter for a Sega Genesis, like some Chinese knockoff company did that. It was crazy.
Good luck.
So now we should have level 2, Star Fox 2 unlocked. You unlocked Star Fox 2, so let's take a look at it. First time ever playing it. And this is my first time ever playing the game. Fighter 2 Turbo. Low punch, medium punch, high punch. Yeah, maybe okay, there we go. Just like I used to do 20 some odd years ago. And that is a bit crushed.
One, fight!
That is so big crushed compared to the regular ROM of the arcade game. Never realized it till now.
Round two, fight! Fire! Win!
Oh gosh. Yeah. Still gonna whoop him though.
Round one, fight!
Kicked him in the head.
Win!
This soundbar does that. It does to like everything there. It's stuck in like power mode, power save
Round
mode.
two, fight! Win!
Contra 3. So, on that note, the game I was just playing, Super Castlevania 4, got the Nintendo Power Magazine from almost 26 years ago, January 1992. Such as the games I was playing, actually I already have some of them. Contra 3, Alien Wars, got that, the actual cartridge. Let's see, what else I got? I got Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Super Mario Kart, F-Zero, Donkey Kong Country, a bunch of the games that I was just playing. I got Castlevania 4. A bunch of the games I was playing on the SNES Classic Edition I actually own in this stack right here. I've had them for years. Many of these I've had, gosh, for more than 20 years, since the mid-1990s. So, just going to wrap up this here. So, yeah. So, it's going to conclude our unboxing and playthrough of the SNES Classic Edition. Great little console, as you can see in the video. I got it for exactly the same reason why everybody else should. To play these classic games from the 1990s. I mean, in this video I was playing Star Fox, so I can unlock Star Fox 2, play it for the first time. I was playing Contra 3 Alien Wars, and I was playing Super Castlevania 4. It was a lot of fun. Good classic stuff. Oh yeah, and I played Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which was very, very bit crushed compared to the actual arcade game, which I'm used to. Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. I've been playing it ever since it came out in 1992, the actual coin-operated arcade game. I put at least several dollars worth of quarters in it during the year of 1992. So, unlike the scalpers who just purchase this item to turn a profit on because they don't want to work a real job, I actually played it and I enjoyed it. I got it to collect, to have, and hopefully you all will enjoy Computing Paradise and future episodes of Adventures in Customer Service. Thanks for watching.